Well, hello there, everybody. Welcome back to Sunshine for the Soul. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out with me today. If you're new here, I'm Cyndi, and I am so appreciative of you bringing your great energy and your vibes to this community. So today, you guys, a lot of big energies going on this week. We've got the Lionsgate portal closing. We've got the Sun conjunct in Venus as of the 13th. We've got Venus retrograde is continuing, and now, lo and behold, here comes the new moon in Leo on the 16th. Again, this month is really big energies. So today, like I said in my last readings, I want to start implementing a little bit of the astrology and the meanings behind these astral bodies and these planetary movements, that their energies influence our lives and give us the opportunity to utilize these energies. How convenient for the Creator to make all these cycles and bring all these energies in closer to us. That's kind of a pretty amazing concept when you think about that. But they've been hidden from us and we didn't know how to utilize them. So now that we're awakening, now that we know we're a spiritual, energetic being having a human experience, not a human having a spiritual experience, big difference between the two. Now we realize we're energy, and it's a whole new ball game on learning how to function in this 3D reality that we're in right now. So a little brief history on the new moon. It is in Leo. It's 23 degrees, and it's going to take place on the 16th at approximately 5:38 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The new moon, I dug into what the new moon was about. You know, we have the cliche stories and myths about new moons, but for myself, I really wanted to understand what a new moon meant. So the new moon marks the beginning of a lunar cycle. It takes approximately 29 and a half days for the moon to orbit our Earth. A new moon occurs when the moon is positioned between the Earth and the sun. So the sun and the Earth are on opposite sides of the moon. It's not a perfect alignment, or that would be a solar eclipse. That's when the moon gets in front of the sun, essentially blocks the sun. But during the new moon, the side of the moon that is facing Earth is the shadow side or the dark side. So that's why if you go outside, you'll have a pitch black night. You won't be able to see the light of the moon because it blends in with the darkness. It's the dark side of the moon, which is really interesting because, just a side note, a friend and I went up to this mountain range for the Perseids meteor shower this past weekend, and we sat in like a national park, and they played the dark side of the moon while we watched the Perseids meteor shower. It was very cool. Just dark side of the moon, Pink Floyd. The moon is never continually dark or continually light. It has both day and night, but in half moon cycles. Basically, it gets 15 days of light on one side, approximately 15 days of darkness, whereas the Earth spins faster and gives us partial time of day and light every 24 hours. So what's the difference between a new moon and a full moon? That kind of intrigued me. These are opposites. When there is a new moon, we see the side of the moon that is dark, or the shadow side. So this is where there's no illumination from the sun. But when there's a full moon, we see the side of the moon that is bright or illuminated. So for the month of August, we had a full moon on August 1st. We're having another one on August 30th, 31st, which, by the way, is my birthday. Shout out to all the Virgos this month. We're getting a Virgo season. And then on the 16th, we have a new moon. So 2 full moons and a new moon in the month of August for 2023. These are big energies, you guys. This is a side note too, is that the moon, according to the Farmer's Almanac, shares its origins from the Latin word metri, which means to measure, and mensis, which means month. This is where kind of a female gender's menses cycle comes from. But the lunar cycle has an impact on human reproduction, in particular fertility, menstruation, and birth rate, which is very interesting. Like, those energies are directly connected with us biologically. Melatonin levels appear to correlate with a woman's menstrual cycle. We know that lunar cycles affect human biology by also influencing our sleep cycles, that melatonin that our body naturally produces. We know it affects human minds emotionally and psychologically. I was a charge nurse on an Alzheimer's memory care unit. I had 28 clients, and I can tell you right now, when we had full and new moons, things were batshit crazy. And when you're in healthcare, don't even talk about it. But it's kind of like a myth and kind of funny. It's a full moon. Wow, things are going to be nuts tonight. But the reality is the energies are so increased that the mind of an Alzheimer's patient would be very sensitive to those changes in energy. So that's why those evenings got a little hairy-carry, all right? That's all I'm going to say. So we know now and understand that not only does the energy of the moon pull the oceans and cause the tides, but we know it affects us on an emotional level. We know that it affects us on a physical level, and we also know that it affects us on a spiritual level. So the new moon represents the beginning of a new chapter. Opportunities and situations may pop up during a new moon and be incredibly meaningful and reveal opportunities just ripe for you to pick. It connects us with our intuition and our emotions. And in tarot, the moon card is number 18, and that symbolizes things hidden below the surface, secrets, or things we cannot see. So the moon's energy, we become more in touch with our intuition. We can see things clearly, intuitively, rather than relying on what we see in the 3D with our physical eyes, opposed to using our intuition, which is our third eye. So this new moon, which is in Leo, is the opportunity to spiritually connect us, to bring us joy, happiness, self-love. It can reconnect us to our life's true purpose according to our natal birth chart and that blueprint we designed for this experience we are having here on Earth. This is a time for manifestation. It's a time for setting intentions, and it's time for writing a new chapter or just throwing it out and writing a whole new book. It is up to us. See you over there. All right, Capricorns, first card out, biggest energy in your reading today for the new moon in Leo is the Seven of Swords. Now, this is an energy of someone sneaking away at night. They've got a mischievous look on their face. Looks like a divine masculine, and he is smirking as he's collected all the swords that he could carry in the village so that they couldn't be used against him. He's masked. He thinks he's some kind of Santa Claus where he's crossing the rooftop in disguise under the darkness of night. But looking at this card, lying, cheating, stealing, and his intentions for this act look definitely malevolent. He doesn't have good intentions for what he's doing. It seems to me like Capricorn, your first energy out is a thief in the night that comes to steal our joy and our happiness. So to start off here, we're kind of asking ourselves what in our lives is stealing our joy and our happiness. And I'm going to get a clarifier on this Seven of Swords card and see just one clarifier about this thief in the night. And we've got the Six of Cups. Now, when we see the Six of Cups in a reading, this is taking you back to the happy memories from your past. Whether as a child, a teenager, or a young adult, you may simply be revisiting those memories in your mind, or you may travel back to your childhood home or reconnect with your child friends. So what this tells me is that this thief in the night has possibly stolen someone's joy, stolen their inner child happiness, the harmoniousness we feel as a child without any stresses, without any worries, without any wounding. So a thief in the night comes in and steals our joy. All right, Capricorns. Now, I want to look at, with that said, let's look in the past, that which is ending. And I've got the Knight of Wands. Now, the Knight of Wands, this can kind of be the player of the deck. He comes racing in, all with his passion, yet he has no staying power. He's in it for his own personal fulfillment. He may be thinking with his wand, not with his heart. But there's another meaning to the Knight of Wands that I think applies more to this scenario, and that's a Knight of Wands is in pursuit of like a specific idea. And normally this is a card of like passion and desire and a sign to just go for it. But in this case, what is ending for you Capricorns is that this situation of a thief in the night, stealing our joy, taking us away from how we felt as a child, when we were safe, when we didn't have any problems or stresses. Sometimes we have to go back to be a very young child to find this. But this is saying act first and think later is ending. So maybe if we've brought people into our lives that did nothing but take from us, they stole from us, they stole our joy, they didn't have our best interests in mind. In this reading, Capricorn, this is saying that is ending. No longer jumping into something without the discernment to know who or what we're getting involved in. And I clarified the Knight of Wands with the Justice card, which is all about bringing balance into our lives. Justice is Libra energy. So if we were in the past, involving ourselves with people that did not equally give and take, 6 cups can be soulmate energy, an energy of nostalgia. So what we see here is that we are no longer acting in those ways that we once did. We're healing that side of us so that we don't act first and think later. We're bringing balance into our lives internally, and that's allowing us to tune into our intuition and be more discerning about who we allow to come into our energetic circle. So we're going to take a look next on that which is just beginning. And if you've been through a hard time before, Capricorn, that which is just beginning is the Four of Wands. Because of that recognition of allowing people in our lives that are like a thief in the night and they steal our joy, we are now setting ourselves up after doing the healing for abundance. And that's where this Four of Wands comes in. As we can see on this card that this is 2 people coming together having a picnic at dusk. The Divine Masculine is the perfect gentleman, gifting her with one single red rose as a token of his love. He's kneeling to show her how much respect he has for this union. And number 4 symbolizes peace and stability. And this is the perfect time for us to get together with close friends or family and celebrate life, celebrate love, celebrate our unions and our friends with those that align with us, with those that support us on our journey. So having gone through this thief in the night in the past, these individuals in our lives that were low energy, that robbed from us, the universe is saying that which is just beginning for you, now that you're finding your balance, is a great celebration in life in whatever endeavor you decide to take on. And I'm going to get a clarifying card for the Four of Wands, and I have got the Eight of Wands. So this is an action card. You're taking action. We see that the Divine Feminine is dressed as a postal worker, and the mail she is carrying may be bringing Capricorn an important message. This is communication. So Capricorn, if you're listening to this message, this may be communication and a message directly for you. This may be the universe encouraging you that, although you've gone through a difficult time, that time is ending. You now have this discernment and this healing, and you're able to pick and choose wisely who you allow into your life and no longer allowing anything to be a thief in the night and steal your joy. Caps, even though there has been people in your life that may have abandoned you, either mentally, emotionally, or physically, even though you have felt like joy was stolen from you and time of innocence was stolen from you, even though you look at your past and all the trials and challenges you have gone through, maybe including a player or 2 that did not have your best interest in mind, even though you've been on an extremely difficult journey. In this reading, here is the universe saying that there is something very warm, kind, and beautiful up ahead to renew your faith in people and humanity, to show you that you are worthy of love, you are worthy of having all the abundance this life has to offer. So I pulled the last card about, the universe and what specifically is the message that we need to get out of this. And I'm seeing 144 right now. The universe says that with a 3 of Cups, again, just like the 4 of Wands, it is time to celebrate. Spend time with family and friends doing the things that you love. The difficult times are nearly behind you, and then the real party begins. So the new moon is revealing, basically, Capricorn, that you're a total badass and you're done letting anyone steal your joy. I love that for you, Capricorn. I'm so excited for you. And if this resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe by giving your energy to this community. It helps the channel grow, and it helps these messages of hopefully encouragement for you reach other people. And we appreciate that so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day. We'll see you at your next reading. Peace.